Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show, and boy oh boy was I surprised when I opened my YouTube app and saw none other than Beat the Bush. Now, for those unaware, Beat the Bush is, in my opinion, the OG channel for retiring early, investing, personal finance. Like, this guy was making videos before anybody else was ever making videos. This is like 2014 about retiring early. Like, that didn't exist on YouTube. But here this guy was, and now he's featured on CNBC with the title, How I Retired Early at 37 with $1.2 million in California. So obviously, we gotta watch the video as soon as you destroy the like button and subscribe, because you know what? Our subscriptions have been down lately, and that means that you're watching this right now, 50% chance you're not subscribed. So you may as well do that. It's free. Thank you guys so much. And now with that said, let's see how Beat the Bush did this.
When I was young, my mom would give me a small allowance.
Oh man, look at his haircut. He is just fresh. I wonder how old he was there. Could be anywhere from like 9 to 15 maybe on the high end, but yeah, he was rocking that cut. He was cool.
It was an allowance of 2 Hong Kong dollars, which is the equivalent of about 25 cents here. So out of the $2, I would actually only spend maybe 1 out of 10 times, and the rest I would keep, amassing a tiny little fortune for a little kid.
Ah, that's so cool. See, nothing has changed. He is the exact same as he was back when he was like 10 years old, getting a $2 allowance and saving all of it. He's the exact same as an adult.
I'm Francis. I'm age 42. I achieved FIRE at the age of 37 with $1.2 million in Fremont, California.
Way to go, way to go. Now part of that is because he spends so little money. So on $1.2 million, you take the 4% rule, he's probably at 3.5% because he likes to save so much money. So that gives him about $42,000, maybe $45,000 a year, give or take, just coming in every single month for him to spend. In the Bay Area too, owning a place, he's taken that a long way.
I'm typically labeled as an extremely frugal person, although I don't think of it that way.
I don't think of it that way. Says the guy who made an entire video about how to reuse dental floss so you don't have to go and buy it. Says the guy who made a video on how much you could save in water if you took a shower at the gym instead of taking a shower at home, which was one of my all-time favorite videos. Or whether or not you could put the least expensive gas as a replacement for premium. I mean, this guy has found life hacks for just saving pennies all the time, but those pennies add up.
It's important to push a little bit too hard, get a little bit too uncomfortable, realize that whatever money saving thing does not really work. It's not for me. A lot of people just buy things that just spoil, things that expire.
And you know we got this, by the way, this mask, because he worked at Amazon for a little bit, because I guess he wanted to experience what it was like to like work a little bit or maybe get a hobby outside of being retired. You know, they just gave him that for free. There's no way he paid for that. But I agree with him otherwise. I think it's really important to live extremely frugally, push yourself like that, and you get in the habit of doing that. And at this point for him, I bet it's just fun. I think just out of principle, he's like, I'm gonna reuse the dental floss because that is fun. That's a good time. It gives them something to do and it saves money.
I see it as a way to get to FIRE faster. Once you get there faster, you can let off a little bit and be a little bit less frugal afterwards.
Oh, look at that. See, he's trying to wrap his water heater so that it doesn't lose heat as quickly and then it doesn't use as much gas, so he could save $5 a month doing that. Now, gas is not that expensive, but yeah, he's probably using, I don't know, $20 worth of materials that should save him, $5 a month. So when you average that out, he's saving $60 a year with probably a $20 investment. That's a pretty good ROI when you think about it. And he bought his house at the bottom of the market in the hottest real estate market now in the world almost. So he's tripled his money on buying this place in 2010. This guy just oozes saving and money at the same time.
When I decided to quit my job, one of the criteria was that I was able to pay off my house because this gives me the financial stability and know that, and so I can know that I won't be kicked out of my house.
I think that peace of mind is worth so much. I've thought so often of just like, hey, should I pay off the mortgage? And every rational part of me just says,
no, Graham, that's stupid because it's a write-off and the interest is 2.8% a year.
And then I don't do it. But for peace of mind, it would be nice just knowing that, hey, you know, there's not a mortgage there, just peace of mind. But you know what? Peace of mind goes out the door when I think logically about it. You know, for him, I think For his mortgage, probably could have gone either way, but for his peace of mind, if he was actually like stopped working, probably a good choice. Look at that. See, he's making money being retired. I mean, obviously he's got money coming in. A big chunk of that is tied to his property in the Bay Area. So he's making money not doing anything. He's making money not making money, and put it that way.
One of the things that helps me greatly in achieving Fire Faster is to have a lot of credit cards. I have 24 currently active credit cards and I churn them. I churn credit cards, I churn investment accounts, I churn savings accounts as well.
It's very profitable. When you account for how much time it really takes you, opening up a credit card for a $1,000 reward takes you, what, 15 minutes, 10 minutes if that? And then you just gotta mentally think, oh, I'm gonna charge a few of these things on the card and you get the points back, $1,000 like that. Same with bank accounts. Bank accounts are a bit more of a pain because once you open them up, they're so difficult to cancel. And sometimes they're like, sorry, sir, you have to cancel in person. I'm like, oh man, there's 20-minute drive to the bank, 20 minutes waiting in line, an hour of them like, are you sure you want to cancel? We'll offer you something better if you don't cancel. It's like, oh man. So I haven't bank account churned in a very long time, but credit cards, absolutely.
In order to churn these credit cards, you need a really high credit score. Currently, I have a credit score of 835.
I want to see a picture of that. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of anyone's credit score that's actually 835. I want to see what that looks like, just as my own inspiration. Like, I believe him, but I want to see it. I got to see that. It's like seeing a unicorn. Like, how do you get 835? That's insane.
So we were in sort of lower middle class.
Ah, there he is in the middle. Oh, that's cool. There. Why is he's got a sock on his ear? Huh.
No one told me about any kind of money saving habits or anything, but I do remember my sister gave me a finance book that had all these different things about it, about credit cards, about, you know, saving for retirement and things like that.
Imagine if it's like the Dave Ramsey book, Baby Steps. It's like, do not get a credit card, do not do that. He just like does the opposite.
I already have worked as an engineer for about 10 years or so, and I was starting to get disgruntled. Whatever I built was not making it to the market, so I felt like I was wasting my time.
Pretty good. That's hard to walk away from $160,000 a year, and you know if he just continued on that, he'd be probably making $250,000 to $350,000 a year. At that net worth, that makes a pretty big difference. I don't know. I would have slugged it out another 5 years.
My main motivation for retiring early is mainly to reclaim my own time and to be my own boss, really, and just be able to do what I want to do at any time that I want to.
It makes me so happy. I don't know why. It's like, you look at him and you meet him, he's the nicest guy. But it makes me happy. He's a guy who just, you know, saves a lot of money. He finds really unique ways to do that. He's interesting, and I think it's just inspiring. Yeah, started his YouTube channel in 2014. He was one of the first people that I ever saw on YouTube that was giving any sort of financial early retirement advice at all. And he was one of the big inspirations for me to actually make content. He gave me the confidence that like you could make a video about financial independence, retiring early on YouTube, and there's an audience for it. Because I remember when I was watching him, he had probably 10 to 12,000 subscribers. And I remember thinking, wow, like there's 10,000 people out there that actually have an interest in saving money. That's so cool. I don't know if I would have had the confidence to do it and be like the first one if I didn't see him doing it and doing well. Because I think that no one cares. No one cares about it. Why bother? But he really forged the path for so many people. And I owe Francis as really one of the big inspirations for me in the very beginning. It was him, Alex Becker, little bit Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, because they were really pushing content out there. Those are the guys who really were the first ones to do it on YouTube.
Finance videos caught on. Those were pretty popular. And then eventually I made more and more money from it, enough that it surprised even me that it can actually replace my actual engineering income.
Yeah, look at that. See, he's making more money now from YouTube than he was as an engineer. When you account, this is just YouTube. I bet he's also sponsorships, affiliates. I wouldn't be surprised if he's pulling in minimum $20,000 a month. Minimum. And that's like him being retired making videos. It goes to show you just how incredible YouTube could be.
Having the YouTube income actually allows me to extend this a bit because I can pay for my living expenses, I can earn more, invest more, and eventually I was able to increase this 1.2 million that I started off with when I retired to about $2 million.
Oh, that did not age well. Look at that. The S&P at 4639 at what looks to be all-time high. Oh, yeah, that's not good. He's so smart though. That's the thing. It's like he didn't quit his job when he's making money like this. He's making just as much with his job as he is from YouTube, and he sticks with them. That's how you do it. You got to stick with it until it's proven itself and is actually sustainable long term.
At the time that I quit my engineering job, I was making around $60,000 on YouTube alone. So what I did was actually to aim for making about 3 times as much as that. So there's some room to play with, some margin of error here.
Like I said, I would have stuck it out another 5 years. But even now, like, I bet there's a shortage of engineers. He'd be able to command, like, you know, with that experience, $400,000. It's just tough walking away from that amount of money. But, you know, good on him for recognizing when is enough, and he did that, and he's focusing on his time now.
Typically, I work on a 2-day schedule. The first day, I would think about ideas. The second day, I would record.
That's what I do for the most part. I mean, some days I'll record, edit, you know, do all that in one day. But usually I have a planning day and a filming day. During the planning days, it's just me and the computer for like 10 hours trying to find a topic, plan it out. Then the next day, I'll film and, you know, maybe do some editing or whatever, thumbnails. But yeah, it's a good schedule. Planning, filming, planning, filming. That way you're never doing too much of one thing.
I might have free trials for going to the movie theaters, or I might just keep them for a very short time. I also enjoy going to the driving range, flying my drone, or going backpacking or camping with friends.
See, a lot of those don't cost a lot of money. That's how he's able to do all of this. He's able to have a lot of fun for free, basically.
I actually have several things that are really great with Fire. One of them is not having to commute anymore, and another one is just to be able to do what you want and complete all your to-do lists and have the time to do your entire bucket list. I completed all of those and I think it's well worth it.
Gosh, what does he do now though? That's the thing. If he's done it all, he's got to one-up it. I don't know. I think maybe the next step is to move out of California and you know, try some other parts of the US. That's what I think. Well, he's mobile right now. I would be as mobile as possible. Rent out his spot for a year or two and just have fun.
I think what most people want is a sabbatical of sorts. They're just disgruntled with their careers and they just want to take a really, really long time off.
I would listen to Beat the Bush for anything. By the way, guys, go and subscribe. I'll link to his channel down below in the description, or you just type in Beat the Bush. This guy, seriously, he started a lot of the financial independence stuff on YouTube. So we all owe it to him that a lot of people are here today. So overall, I love the video. Congratulations for everything he's done. He's so smart. Go and follow him. Subscribe, hit the like button, add me on Instagram. We also got a podcast with new episodes every single Sunday. Thank you so much, and until next time.